Welcome to Awaken the Rebel. I'm your host, Shireen Thor. Thank you for being here, friends. All right, so today I want to talk about the definition of success. There's so many different ways to define success, and I feel like oftentimes we get tripped up because we do not take the time to define success for ourselves. So we get caught up in other people's definitions. Like, you know, I know a lot of coaches are like, yeah, I would love to be like Oprah. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. It'd be great. Have you really thought about that? Really thought about what your life would be like if you had Oprah's life? Really thought about if that'll work for you specifically? Or are you just kind of like looking at somebody's success and assuming that notoriety and money mean happiness? Because let me tell you, it's not original to think notoriety and money mean happiness. Like if you ask people, what is the definition of success? They'll say fame and money. Like it's not a shock. And there was actually a study done by some Harvard smarty pants people. It was actually the longest study ever done on happiness. And they asked a bunch of millennials, you know, what do you think success means? And they all said fame and money. If I had fame and money, I'd be successful and that would make me happy. So they did this super longest study ever where they basically took people from all different levels of socioeconomic status, race, culture, whatever, followed them for a really long time. And what they found is that what actually makes people happy isn't money or success. It's actually connections and relationships and having strong social bonds. And so there's like different ways that applied to you. Like there was the level of intimate connection where you have like a real relationship. And I think that's what most people will assume I'm talking about when I say the results of the study. But there was also another type of connection, which was really more about being connected to your community and connected to your immediate social surrounding and having friends and fun and all that good stuff. And then there was tons of information that talked about how you are actually supported physiologically, and it's a ton more healthy to have this kind of a happy lifestyle with happy relationships and societal bonds. So anyway, that was really interesting because it's a super legit study. You could totally look it up. And it busted up the myth that fame and money are it when it comes to success. And so, you know, for me, I've really had a little, like, I don't know, midlife crisis here. Not quite at my midlife, but hey, I'm pushing it, right? And I think before I became a mom, I had that kind of Oprah desire as well. Like, I think I really thought, you know, Oprah's my North Star. She's amazing. You know, she gets to be like mama bear, healthy, I don't know, spiritual leader on television to the world. That's so exciting. She's a freaking billionaire and she's successful and all that good stuff, right? Then I became a mom and realized, holy shit, I really got to slow down to be able to rock this mom thing. Like, if I really want to get my Oprah on, I don't know, man. It just looks like I'm at a fork in the road. And so I really had to pick, like, do I want success and fame and money more than I want to put my focus on the family? And the bottom line is, I'm born of a broken home. You know, my mom and dad divorced when I was 1. My dad used to beat my mom up, and so she made the wise choice to leave. So I was raised by a single mom. And what was sort of the product of that experience is that I decided I really wanted to marry a great guy. That was for sure. If I was going to have children at all, I would only have them with a great guy, and that I would be in that marriage forever. That I would definitely not ever divorce. I'd be super committed, and that I would make sure that my career created space and time for me to put what time I believe children need into them so that they could have access to mom and wouldn't feel unimportant. So as a result of this experience, it's funny, like that was kind of the seed that planted the dream of entrepreneurship for me. It was like, all right, well, it's not going to work a 9 to 5. Like, I'm not going to be able to put my family first and have the time freedom necessary for me to be a good mom if I'm working 9 to 5 for somebody else and I have to put my kid in daycare or whatever, which, by the way, I do not judge women who put their kids in daycare. I have zero judgment whatsoever. I believe everyone does what's good for themselves, so don't worry. Like, that's not what this is about. So I became an entrepreneur. I created the movement, right? Did all this cool stuff, certified as a coach. Yeah, it's happening. Oh yeah, baby, it's legit. Doing big things. You know, speaking on platforms with really important people. who are way cooler than I am. And then I become a mom and I have this fork in the road and I go, shit. My God, am I gonna slow down? I'm fucking killing it right now. This sucks. Like, I don't want to slow down. No. And I freaking fought that shit so hard. It's ridiculous. You would not believe the amount of conversations I had with entrepreneur coach friends and a therapist, whoever would listen, about how I was struggling with slowing down my career. Then it occurred to me, man, it's crazy. I listened to Gary Vee. I love that guy. I know I mentioned him on here, I'm sure time and time again, but like, it's interesting because I really admire and respect him. I mean, he has an Oprah-type career. Like, his shit is banging. You know, he's like an entrepreneur celebrity, and he's super legit and smart, and I love listening to him because I feel like he is ahead of the curve, and I like to hear that kind of information, so it's kind of like intellectually stimulating. But at the same time, I sort of listen to him for juxtaposition. I was watching this video where he's talking about how we need to have more patience. We need to be willing to have more patience with, like, you know, if we're not happy, like, don't have the audacity to complain about it, because we all have choice in, like, what we decide to do in our lives. And so, therefore, if you're not happy, choose out and start doing something that makes you happy, and have the patience for that, you know, 7-year mark to come where you eventually win. Like, he was talking about how in the short term, if you quit your job and go start a business, it's going to hurt. But in the long term, you're going to win. And so, like, don't be a whiner. Make your life what you want. You're going to die someday. And so, you know, do what you got to do and have the patience in the meantime to see it through. I was like, yeah. He's talking about, I don't have the audacity. He's talking about complaining. Like, don't complain. He's like, I don't have the audacity to complain about the fact that I don't see my children enough. Or something like that. Like, something, I don't have the audacity to complain about how much I miss my children because I work too hard. And I like, it was so funny because I was totally like drinking the Kool-Aid up until the point. I was like, yeah, Gary Vee, preach, boo, you're gonna die. Happiness is the most important thing. You know, quit, don't complain, quit, and have the patience to see it through. Like, I was just all about it. And then he says, I don't have the audacity to complain about the fact that I miss my kids. I work hard by choice. And then he said, too hard. And I was like, hold up. No. Oh, no. Like, that's where Gary Vee's good for me in a rebel way, because some of the stuff he preaches, I'm like, oh, no. No, boo-boo. No, I would never give the world so much of me that my children didn't get me. Like, I will always have my priorities straight for me. And, you know, I don't have to project my values onto him. He can live his life as he chooses, right? Do you, boo? But for me, I would feel like an unsuccessful person if the world had all of me and my children did not. To me, the definition of success actually is putting family first. That's a big part of it for me. So I don't know what it is for you, and I definitely don't want to project onto you what's up with me, but what I'm sort of trying to present here is this idea that I want you to challenge your current definitions of success, because they might have been inherited by somebody else. Like, if I was just drinking Gary Vee's Kool-Aid, I'll just been like, yeah, it's all about the, you know, growing whatever you're growing and the hustle and the grind and make it happen and, you know, being committed. But the truth is, no, like, my grind and my hustle will actually not come at the expense of my children. It just won't. So that might mean I make less money, or that might mean I'm not as successful as Gary Vee, or I never get my Oprah moment. And 100%, I'm good with that. I will go to my grave feeling proud of this choice. And so my question to you is, what's going to make you proud? Like, you could go to your grave and not have a regret. That's what we want for you. That's what's really going to make the difference in your day-to-day choices. The difference between happy people and people who are not happy are people who choose to do and live the life that they actually want. Not that they inherited, not that was projected onto them, not that was handed down by mom and dad. No. The life that they consciously looked inward to discover themselves and what really makes them tick, and then chose to map it out towards that direction. So I would just want you guys to map it out. You know, I just want you to look within, map it out, and make it happen. So let me know how that goes. You know, holler at me on my website, awakentherebel.com. I would love to hear what comes up for you. And let's just keep the conversation going. It's all about happiness, baby. Drop the mic. You're welcome. All right. I'll see you on the next one.